Hi, everybody. My name is Vincent, and this is my first video uh, where you can actually see my face since I've been out of the Watchtower Society. And I've been out of the Watchtower Society about, I want to say, 8 to 10 years. It's like 9 years I've been out now. And I have written my story, my experience about what happened initially when I left the Watchtower Society, and I put it online. And that was online for many years. But I felt like it was important for me to do some videos because I can go into more detail about my thought processes as I was growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, what was happening to me within the organization, and how and why I eventually left the Watchtower Society. I'm so glad, though, I wrote my story on paper because, and I've said this many times, that on that paper, it was written in real time. Meaning, if you read that paper, you're going to read my pain. You're going to feel my pain. You're going to actually see my tears when you read that story. But I'm going to expand even on some of those thoughts that I expressed there. But the reason why I'm making these videos is because I feel like I'm at a good place in my life right now. I feel like I can now think clearly about my entire life, why it has gone the direction it has, and I can really examine the real reasons why I left the Watchtower Society. And we're going to talk about that a lot later. But I'm trying to make these videos maybe 10 minutes long. It's going to be sort of difficult because I like to talk, and I like to talk about the Watchtower, and I like to talk about the Bible. But I'm going to try to keep them short because it's easier for me to make the video, and then also too, when you're done with this video, I may have another one like tomorrow or a couple of days from now. You can watch as well, because a lot of times, you get all excited and you'll create a 2-hour video, and then after that you don't create a video for a long time. I don't want that to happen. I want to actually make videos, and I want it to be progressive. Having said that, the videos I want to make, they're going to sort of be all over the place. I'm not going necessarily in chronological order. At times I will, but then other times I won't be. I will be just talking about various things, my thought processes. I also want to talk about some of my experiences as an elder, because I was an elder for many, many years. I was a ministerial servant for many years. I gave talks at the circuit assembly level. I was a completely indoctrinated Jehovah's Witness. I mean, I keep saying this over and over again, and I even wrote it down in my story online, that I was the living watchtower. I mean, that's what I was known for. People who seen me thought I would never leave the organization. In fact, I still feel that there are people that are still, they can't get over that idea that I left the Watchtower, because I was like, I loved going to the meetings. I loved traveling and giving talks in the kingdom halls, and I put my heart into those things. I had notes, but I really didn't speak from those notes. I spoke from the heart because I really believed it to be God's organization. So my leaving of the Watchtower was even traumatizing to witnesses themselves in the area. And I know that's true because I remember when certain ones would leave the Watchtower Society, I was just shocked. I was blown away, and for some time it would really affect me that certain people left the Watchtower. But now I just want to express my feelings from a very peaceful place right now in my life. My life right now is so different from what it ever has been. In fact, I'm a completely different person today than I was in the past. I look at myself as a child. I look at myself as a teenager. I look at myself when I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and now I'm 53. I am none of those other people from those past decades. That person does not exist anymore. The only part of me that exists is whatever the core person was back then, that person is still around. That's who I am. But as far as like any of the external things I said and did, that's not me. And that person does not exist. So for this first video, I'm just really trying to introduce myself, telling you where I came from. I was a Jehovah's Witness since birth. And I left the organization around the age of 45, 46. And it was very traumatizing because I was so indoctrinated. I mean, I had a love for the Watchtower, and that's a problem in itself, but I also loved God and I loved the Bible. And you combine those two together and it becomes toxic, not because of the Bible. It's because after you leave the Watchtower, you've associated that Bible with the Watchtower for so long. You are completely lost when you leave the Watchtower Society. And I'm going to re-express my story concerning that. Even though I wrote much of it down on paper, there is a lot of other thoughts and a lot of other experiences that I had even within that story that I did not write. So we're going to talk about that. But for now, like I said, this is an introduction video, and I just wanted to let you know what my plan was for these videos. And hopefully what I really want is I want my family, I want my mother especially, to listen to this video. I want people in my family, whether it's my dad's side of the family or my mom's side of the family, I want them to see how this evolved and why I left the Watchtower Society and why I am doing the things that I'm doing today. Because I am such a happy person right now. I like to think of myself as one of the happiest people on earth. I want to view myself as one of the luckiest people on earth, just because, no, my life hasn't been perfect. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is I am truly content right now in my time of life. I would never want to go back. People always say, well, don't you wish you were younger? No, I don't. I like where I am today, and I don't like the person that I was in the past. But anyway, this will be my first video, but in my next video, I'm going to talk more about my roots as a Jehovah's Witness when I was growing up, and then I want to talk about the traumatic experience of leaving the Watchtower Society. And when I talk about those things, it's not going to be covered in one video, 2 videos, 3 videos. No, several videos, several shorter videos I will release explaining this entire scenario. And where I am today, I'm just going to tell you, is that I am now a follower of Christ. But it's important to know, I did not just jump out of the Watchtower and become this so-called Christian follower of Christ. It did not happen that way. And that's one of the other reasons why I want to do these videos, because I want people to see that the process, how I did not choose to be a follower of Christ. I did not choose to be a Christian, any of that. I experienced some things that I never thought I would experience. I experienced things that other former Christians had mentioned when I was a Jehovah's Witness, and I would look at them like they were crazy. But I guarantee you, I did not choose to be a follower of Christ. I did not choose that. That path was chosen for me, and I have so much to say about that, but we're going to talk more about that much later, because I want to start off with my journey when I left the Watchtower, but I'm also going to go back and forth between my thoughts as a child and as a teenager, and we're going to talk about also my thoughts as a Jehovah's Witness when I was totally indoctrinated. How there were a lot of thoughts of mine that were in conflict with the Watchtower Society and with elder bodies and all of that. So we're going to talk more about that. But for now, we're going to conclude with this, and then we will begin to talk about the other things in my next video. We'll see you later.